Welcome to Louisiana Heartbeats. I'm Sudie Landry, and guess what? It is time for the Sweet Dough Pie Festival again in Grand Coteau, Louisiana. And who better yet than to have our president, and she is going to tell us what it's all about. Welcome to the show, Miss Janice.
Thank you.
Now, I already attended last year, but I understand you have some great additions, so let's just share with him what's been going on and anything new.
Well, we've grown again. A lot of new things are going to be happening. First of all, with our contest, we've always had a contest. This is our third year. We've decided to open it up to the public. And so the general public, people that are attending our festival, can buy a ticket and they can go around and taste all the pies. There are 4 flavors this year, sweet potato, custard, fig, and blackberry. And they can taste them and vote and decide who is the best contestant in that contest.
So it's important that people who are making their pies, entering the pies, can tell people that to be able to vote for them, then they would be able to purchase a ticket and from there cast their vote. And it's like a win-win situation. Not only will it help the winner get the prize of being elected, but also brings in more funds for the activities. Huh?
Exactly.
What is this about? Why do you do this?
Well, that's really a good question. We do this to bring people into our community. You know, we're not a large town. We're a very old town, though, and we have a lot of history, a lot of culture, and so we bring people into our community to share that with them. And the idea started up about 3 years ago, and it's been growing ever since.
So this is our third year.
This is our third year. It is. And
Well,
we're
look at
excited.
there. I'm already acting like I'm part of it. Well, I attended
You are.
last year, and I'm excited to go out there. I am planning on being there.
Yes.
The history of Grand Coteau, a lot of people are not aware just exactly what this little town is representing. Would you share that?
Absolutely. Our town was founded in about 1820,
Okay.
Academy of the Sacred Heart. We go back to Charles Smith, who was a native of Grand Coteau, came to Grand Coteau with his 2 brothers and purchased land. And he saw a need to have our church and a school. And so he and his wife together donated a sizable amount of land. The Sacred Heart nuns came to Grand Coteau, opened the school. The Jesuit priests came and started a church. And then it became settled. In our community, we probably have about 40 homes or buildings, churches, that are on the National Registry of Historic Places.
You know, Janice, I know that we're going to focus on the Sweet Dough Pie Festival, which shows up in that wonderful poster in the background. Okay, but we want to also bring to light that there's so many other things that's going to happen there. So
Exactly.
let's talk about location. Let's talk about the time.
Okay.
And go from there and just kind of give them a rundown of some of the things that's going to be out there.
Okay. Our location, of course, is on the grounds of St. Charles Borromeo Church. It's a huge, beautiful ground with gorgeous big oak trees.
Yeah.
It's on Saturday, October the 25th. Starts at 9 and goes until 3. Every year, our festival will be on the 4th Saturday in October. We've decided to.
Oh,
make
that's
it-
good information.
Yeah,
I'll write
the
that
4th
down.
Saturday in October. The festival includes not only sweet dough pies, but we have probably at least 70 arts and craft vendors. People from all over the state of Louisiana that come in that make jewelry, that have artwork, paintings, they have planters, they have just a variety, pottery, as well as some pies and desserts.
You know, out there walking around the grounds and trying to film some footage for AOC last year, it was amazing to go to the different booths. And even the different, let me tell you, Katie Anna, if you plan on going out for this event and you plan on getting yourself some sweet dough pies, I highly recommend that you check them out when you first get there. Because even though I placed an order, guess what? They were pretty well out.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever and somebody was trying to buy my pies that had been set aside, and I really think I would have kind of stood up to get those pies, and I did get them, but the whole point is they were that great. And I understand there's a change also in that too, is that the competition will include in the sweet dough pie competition, going back to that. Okay, who would be entering those contests?
This is open to anyone, professional baker or domestic baker. It's open to anyone. A lot of the ladies that are in the contest are also vendors. They're going to be selling their pies. And so at the end of the contest, when the contest ends, it'll go for from 9:30 till 11:30.
Right.
And the winner, we will post those on the different vendors' booths. So you can walk around and see how people placed in the contest. We'll do first and second place in all 4 categories. And then we'll have a best overall. Whatever baker received the most votes overall will be the best overall. So there'll be a prize for that.
Well, it was a wonderful turnout last year, and I'm really believing this year is going to be even better. We plan on networking and sharing it not only on Acadiana Open Channel, but Acadiana Open Channel is also now taking our shows and putting them on YouTube. But then again, too, I've already been putting these shows on YouTube, so Facebook is going to have it real soon. So maybe, everybody out there, if you can't go, then you might be able to share and send it on and let everybody else know what this little town is doing. I was surprised with the different vendors that were out there. It's amazing how we can be so close and yet so far and not even know who's in our back door. I didn't even know where Grand Coteau was, but I knew that it existed because I'd see the sign once in a while. I saw it again coming back from out of town this weekend, and I went, oh, it's close to sunset. I even got a different view coming that way.
That's right.
And so I was excited because that's a reminder that Sweet Dough Pie Festival is just a part of this event. Let's talk about those trolley rides.
Oh, yes, that's new this year.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, great. The town of Washington has a trolley car that they use for special events, and they graciously have let us use it. And one of our own local ladies, Mary Claire Trent, who is a teacher at the boys' school at the Sacred Heart Academy, she's going to give a guided tour 3 different times during the day. People can get on the trolley car, and they will ride around Grand Coteau, stopping at different homes, different churches, different buildings, and getting a history lesson of when did, about the family, about when the building was built. All of these homes are, like I said, on the National Registry. So it's really important that people get some information and learn about our history, and we're excited, very excited about the trolley cars. That's new. In addition, we will also continue to do, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, a guided tour, free guided tour of our church, St. Charles Borromeo Church, which was started in 1879, and also our cemetery, which is pretty old, as well as St. Ignatius School, which was started in 1890, and then also the Academy of the Sacred Heart, which I said was in the 1820s, which the first miracle that was performed in the United States was done there.
The last time we were on the show, we brought that up. Your husband corrected us. Did we get it right this time? And it was declared up there.
Yes, exactly. But we're very excited about all of these factors of our community, and to be able to share that in addition to the pies and the artist, and it's just a great day.
Well, I just caught a glimpse and heard something that I'm kind of like in these days where I'm making my bucket list. It's not very long, but I always wanted to ride on a train. I rode a little old-fashioned train, and when you were describing the trolley, I went, well, you know what, that's close enough to a little old-fashioned train. So I'm looking forward to telling my children and my grandchildren and trying to bring them out there with me because I know they're going to enjoy it. Now, this is the flip side, and here's my character. Hey, I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
What kind of tour do you go through a cemetery?
Actually,
what's in there?
It's very interesting. It's very
That's
interesting.
what I want to know.
Because it has several of the old Jesuit priests who came to Grand Coteau, but there are also, during the Civil War, some of the fighting between the North and the South was in the Grand Coteau area. And so General Sherman, I think, has a son or a nephew that's buried in the cemetery. But it's just got a lot of old history.
And I was joking around about that because, you know, it's amazing that if you just take a moment and you do walk through any cemetery, you will see the history sometimes is there for you. In fact, I just come back from Shreveport and I took pictures of my father's grave and other graves near him, and just the history documented right there on camera, you know, is awesome. So just being told as we go through that, I look forward to that. And I am trying, really trying to get a camera crew. So whether my guys can come or not, I do have someone else lined up.
We'd love to
We're
have
trying to
you
get
guys.
her out there. So, but I know due to different situations, we got a lot of great footage last time, but we had problems with the camera. But we're not going to have that this time.
Okay, good.
I'm saying it. We're not going
Good,
to have that this
good.
time. It's going to work out. Okay, so going back to Grand Coteau, you have other events coming up also. You want to kind of plug it before we go into some other area? I think in November or something, you have something else coming up?
We have another event coming up, and it's called Grand Noel.
And we're going to have you come back and we're going to talk about
I
that.
will definitely come back and talk about that. That's another great event. It's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. The whole town is lit up. Starts in the evening about 4 o'clock.
Wow.
The whole town is lit up with candles, and we have buggy rides through the town.
That's another one.
Yeah,
Buggy ride. Here we go.
We have music, we have food. We're going to also have, for the first time, our life-size nativity scene set up. And you probably don't know about this.
Nope.
But we're really excited about it. Did some investigation and checked into we wanted to bring Christ back into Christmas.
Amen.
And we are a very Christian community, and so did some checking around and found an artist up in Utah that makes life-size nativity scenes, and he makes it out of Retsin and marble. And so we will have that on display in the center of our town.
You know, as you're saying that, Janice, I used to go through Arkansas, northwest Arkansas, to see my grandmother. And there's this little bitty town in the middle of nowhere, and they did that. And it got to a point that when you passed, you had to stop. You really thought it was really live human beings.
Right.
And one time, my friend that was with me swore up and down one of them moved. So we stopped and we watched. But they're that life size, you know. And so I visualized that as you were talking, and it was awesome. And yes, I did try to find out what it was about. It was different people donated for the different ones to be added to the nativity scene, and it was beautiful. It was worth the money, I am sure.
Exactly.
You know.
Just one of the wise men is 6 feet tall.
Well, I know
It'd be
these people
beautiful.
are big. This
And-
was
and
not
the
no
whole-
cartoon-sized
yeah,
kids.
so that'll be worth coming back to Grand Coteau for in November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to be there because
Good.
let's put the spirit back all together.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
do what it takes, and also
Exactly.
to let your little town shine.
Uh-huh.
You know, the biggest. I mean, it could be the next neck edition, even better. And you know how that town just did the lights for their town, and people from all over drive all over there. So when you're going to do something like this, and you can bring the family, that's what's
the
important.
biggest part. Bringing the family, and both of these events are family focused.
That's it. That's it.
No alcohol, no pets. It's all about having your family with you.
That's it. That's it.
So,
So let's talk about the hours again, and it's going to be on the Saturday of October, as the poster
yes,
says.
October the 25th starts at 9 a.m. It goes till 3 p.m. and it's a full day. On average, the ladies that sell pies sell in the neighborhood of 500 each.
And I might say fast.
Yes,
And before
they
the
do.
day's out.
They do.
Do you know there were people coming after the event was halfway through, and people were still driving in to come buy pies, and I was very disappointed, but then I found out where they could maybe get some later. You know,
Exactly.
so that all worked out.
Yeah.
Since we had vendors there, they were lucky.
Yeah.
You know. What about music? Let's talk about some of that music.
Music is really good. Music is good. We're excited. Cheryl Cormier is going to be opening up the event, and Cheryl is a local, grew up in Grand Coteau with all of us, loves her community, and she always comes back and entertains. And a lot of times she'll bring some of the young musicians that she's been mentoring and brings them in, and we enjoy having them. So she'll be there to open it up. We also have Naomi Broussard. Naomi lives in the Karen Crow area, and she is a young lady who sings and plays the guitar, and she's also with St. Ignatius School Choir, so she'll be there. We have Miss Virgie, who is a African-American older lady here from Lafayette. She has some CDs, she sings, she's really, really a sweet lady and has some very good gospel music, and she'll be there. And then our fourth entertainer is our own also, Deacon Cody Miller.
Yes.
Yes. Grew up with him in Sunset. He's a local guy, is now in the Milton area. Cody's going to be coming and singing, and he also has some CDs. Great guy, wonderful personality. And you know what's really good about this is we have a huge tent that is set up by Super One, and it's in front of our stage with table and chairs, and people come and sit and enjoy the music and the food and visit and reunite, and it's kind of like a reunion of sorts.
It is.
And so, I mean, that's really good. That's what it's about.
It's really welcome. I mean, you get there and you see all the different ages together, and they're so relaxed. It just represents the great, wonderful Cajun culture.
It does.
And the
It
town,
does.
you know, just emphasizes that even more. And I mean, the smiles on the faces, the food being eaten, people browsing through the different vendors, and everybody has a smile on their face. But Lord, anyone who's really having a bad day ought to just turn out and go. They'd be a much happier person. And that's what I saw. Also, too, I'm also laughing with a smile on my face because of the fact that you had come on the show. I was able to go find out what this was about, and also gathered up the little Grand Coteau Playboys and brought them back to be on our Acadiana's Kids Got Talent.
Yeah.
And what was so funny, Acadiana, is that I was so gun-ho about promoting these kids and any other kids. Cheryl Cormier and I, as you know, went to school together, and she became the singer she is, and Grammy a winner in her own. And but somehow in between the texts or the emails, you said you needed information, and I texted you back or I emailed you, said, well, Janice, I got them from your event. They were out there. You had so many things going on.
Yeah.
So, but those little guys have been doing fantastic, and they had okayed it, and we used them in our promo for our kids show, and
Wonderful.
they were wonderful, and we've been showcasing kids. So when I go out there, I'm just always looking to showcase anything I can for the kids, and that's where we'd already started the show, and I was excited to represent the Cajun culture with them.
Yes.
And so they came on our show, so when you were talking about that put a smile on my face. And of course, Cheryl's always going to try to bring in and younger people, you know, and that's wonderful. And now Chubby Carey is doing the same thing, and so we have different people that want to be a part of it. So we encourage anything to involve the youth is a great thing. And the event, family event, oh wow. How many places can you go and know it's safe and no one's going to be using horrible language and atmosphere, you know? So it's a good place.
I know. Let me just tell you about the food while I'm thinking about it.
The food, we
The
forgot to
food.
talk about the food.
Well, the food is different. Food is donated from various restaurants.
Oh, okay.
The Blue Dog here in Lafayette donates their crawfish enchiladas.
What?
Yes.
Whoa.
We have food from Cafe Josephine in Sunset, and that is their shrimp and grits.
Hungry.
Wonderful. And then we have gumbo from Beauchesne Restaurant. We have shrimp pasta from Brent's Catering in Grand Coteau. We have Russell's gives us from Orneville, also gives us gumbo. We have various people that don't. We have jambalaya from Abacus here in Lafayette.
Wow.
Yes. And then our nephew, my nephew has a food commissary in Louisville, Kentucky, Jay Gumbo's.
Met him.
Yes. And
It
they're
was
coming
wonderful.
with drunken chicken
Yep.
and Zydeco, I think jambalaya they call it, just various types of food, in addition to hamburgers and hot dogs for the kids if they want it. But you can go around and taste, the food can be tasted, different restaurants.
I
in
am
different
sure there
locations.
wasn't very much left over.
There was nothing left over.
I was going to say, I
Nothing.
waited too late. From now on, I'm going to walk around with food eating while I'm doing my
We're going to have a
job.
lot more food. But
It was
but it's a
good.
variety of food and a variety of locations.
That's the kind of footage that we like to bring to Acadiana Open Channel, and believe me, I had interviewed your relative. Who is it?
Billy Fox.
And that who is what? How's he related to you? Or?
He's my nephew. His dad is and my husband are brothers.
They were so wonderful.
Yeah.
And so you can understand how disappointed when we found out the camera wasn't working.
And he learned how to cook from his
and
grandmother in Grancato.
And he had told that story, and all of that was on film.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to document, anything going on in a person's family.
Exactly.
They need to get together and keep these reunions going. I'm excited. This is like a reunion, really and truly. You do it every year. And just like my children right now are having their own, the grandkids are having a reunion to keep the tradition going in the family, but it's the kids that's putting together. I'm talking like in their 20s and 30s that has decided to start this reunion for them and all the cousins and everything. So things like this is important, and that's what's wonderful about Cajun land.
It is.
In Grancato, I see that. And, of course, I got to visit Opelousas not long ago, and they were doing some little things there.
Yeah.
And, instead of Lafayette, other towns exist out of Lafayette, Louisiana. you know. But I was so used to making a living standing behind the chair and never got out. But now I'm getting out.
Good
and
for
Lord,
you. Good for you.
so much undiscovered territory and the freedom to go.
That's right.
Well, as we are getting kind of close to the end of the show, I think we have about 3 minutes left into the show. Let's cover some things that possibly that we didn't, and let's talk about. Okay, so how do you go about getting people interested in participating and donating to your event? How early do you start?
We start. Actually, vendors started applying back in April, beginning of April.
April.
Yeah, the food people that have donated have done it every year, and they've been very generous.
Wow.
It's people from our community. Steve with the Blue Dog, his mom is a big parishioner of our church. Of course, Abacus is owned by Robert Frugier, and he's also from Grancato. So it's people from our community that want to help us and believe in what we're about.
Now, let's talk about your board. You have a board for this.
I do. We have a board of directors. There are 10 of us, all volunteers.
Wow, that is a nice sized board.
It is.
You sound like some serious people.
We are. And we have various experience, various ages. And so we have some young ones and we have some older ones. But it's good. People that want to be part of the community and want to be involved. My husband and I are on the board. Robert and David Frugier are on the board. We have a sweet dough pie, Peggy Jones. You see her hands behind me. She's also on our board, and she makes sweet dough pies. So it's a good combination of people.
Well,
and then we probably have about 20 volunteers that help us all throughout the day.
You can't do it without the volunteers.
No, you cannot.
And I know they are very appreciated. Volunteers is why this show's on the air right now. Acadiana Open Channel runs strictly with volunteers. You know, everything we do is volunteers.
Right.
Well, since we are promoting at this time and encouraging people to take part in the Sweet Dough Pie Festival, are there any deadlines to meet as far as entering your pies?
Yes, there is a deadline. If you want to enter the contest, we ask that you enter by October the 20th.
Yeah, right.
Our event, of course, is October 25th, and so by that Monday, the 20th, we need to have your application in. You can go online to our website and print out an application and just mail it to me, or you can call me. My number is there on the website also. Anything to help you, but there are 4 flavors, and we ask that you enter 2 large pies for whatever flavors you're going to be in.
In a tin pan.
In a tin pan, if possible.
Yeah.
And the reason being is we want to have enough pies for 50 people to taste. And there's a system. We have probably a group of 5 or 6 ladies that are just going to be doing the contest. And
so I understand you want the basic recipe. You want the basic of blackberry, fig, custard, and
sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Yeah. Sweet potato is a popular one.
I want one of the sweet potatoes. I want to get one of those.
Yes, everyone enters the sweet potato part
Well,
of it.
we are at the end of the show, so I'm going to start closing out, and I want to thank you for coming on
Oh,
the show.
thank you again.
And you've been watching Louisiana Heartbeats, and I'm Sudie Landry, and today I had Janice Fox, who is sharing with us the Sweet Dough Pie Festival in Grand Coteau, Louisiana. And you have to tune in. I'll tell you what, there's more to come, and we'll be sharing another event in November with Janice
That's right.
also. If you can tune in to Cox Cable 16 every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, you just may see you, or Janice, or myself, or Reverend Wayne Landry talking about who knows what, maybe your event in your town. If you're interested in being on the show, then check out our website or give us an email, and that's up there on the screen. So thank you, and Janice, thank you very much for coming
you
in,
again.
and I look forward to
Always
riding
fun.
that trolley and
There you go.
taking that tour to that cemetery.
Absolutely, absolutely.